UDP and TCP. Basically, if you can see the diagram here, TCP is sending one message as a sync. It is syncing to the destination because this one is a receiver and this one is a sender. So receiver sender, one packet is coming from receiver to sender as a sync, and then it is coming as a SYN-ACK. Another sync message is going, but the other one is sending acknowledgement of. And the last one is the acknowledgement, because it is going here and it is confirming that your transmission is 100% successful. So this is called three-way handshake, 1, 2 and 3. But here we are using just simple communication, request, and all the responses are ongoing. Just two-way only. There is no three-way handshake. Because why we are putting multiple responses? Because whenever you will just request something, it will be ongoing. There is no need to send request again and again. For example, in UDP, if I want to talk to you on voice or video, I will just send you one hi and you will start communication. Then there is no need to send you again hi. For example, when we start communication, first time we say hello, how are you, assalamu alaikum. We are not saying again and again in between the transmissions because we are already starting communication. So after half an hour talking to you, again I can say assalamu alaikum. No. So that will be only first time. So same in UDP. When we will sending traffic as a voice or video, first time we will send request, and if why we are sending request, we need to check you are alive or not. So you will respond, okay, respond. Whenever your respond will come, I will not send you any request again. So that will be ongoing whenever we will finish our communication. But in TCP, if one packet we need to send, first sync, then sync acknowledgement, then acknowledgement. Again packets, second packet, again the process. Again third packet, again the process. All the time whenever sending each and every packet, we need sync acknowledgement three-way handshake. But in UDP, first time send packet, request, and the rest of the packets are ongoing. No need to be back. So that is called connection oriented, and this one is called connection less protocol. Why? Because name implies focusing on creating, maintaining and operating the connections, because here we are not creating any formal connection and focus instead on the data transmission. So why we are calling connection less? Because there is no need of formal connection, just sending request and reply is coming. No need to check, and focus instead on the data transmission. It's only focus on transmission, not on the three-way handshake. If it is confirmed, going or not going, no error checking, no flow control, nothing. Just we are sending that traffic here. So connection oriented protocol is same like the telephone system. For example, we are calling each other, but first I need to dial number. It will go bell to you, then connection will become, and then we will be talking. So it is the very best example of connection oriented. If I will not dial your number, if I will not send you one tone or whatever we are sending, so notification, otherwise we cannot make connection. So if we have made a connection, कॉल मिल गई है, फिर हम एक दूसरे से बात कर रहे हैं. If we are not making connection, then there is no call. So that is the best way. After that, we called it handshake. Why we are calling handshake? Because first sync packet is going, then request send packet is going the second one, and the third one is CTS. And after that, last one is acknowledgement, because CTS mean basically clear to send message. After no, for example, first sync will go. For example, if I will draw diagram here, this one is the source and this one is the receiver. First sender will send the sync message. Syncing, it means sync packet will be a request packet. Request will go and the receiver will send two packets, RTS and CTS. Why both? Because RTS will be request to send and CTS will be clear to send. First it will be sending that RTS means request to send. Okay, first you ask me something, okay, send me. So the second packet will be RTS, but with RTS there will be CTS. You know, if I am calling you that I am coming to Dubai, so what you will respond me? First you will respond that I am available. This one is RTS, request to send. And then you will tell me if you want to come, no, if you want to come, the path is clear. There is no traffic in between the road. If you will think that there is already too much traffic, you will say don't come, because clear to send is not clear. The road is not clear. So you will tell me on the phone that you can come, but the problem is there is too much traffic. Wait for some time. CTS mean clear to send. So, for example, a respondent will be sent that CTS is not clear. Wait some time because the path is not clear. So CTS means send to clear. Send clear to send. After that, sender will start sending message, and it will be acknowledgement. Acknowledgement mean that will be confirmation that your data is received 100% and that communication is successful. If this message will not come, the sender will not start communication. And if this message will not send, means there is some problem inside the, so we need to resend again. For example, if last acknowledgement will not come, it means that data is not properly 100% received. So we need to, so the receiver will understand that there is some problem with this packet. I need to retransmit again. There is no need to check again. Sender don't need to tell the router receiver that I didn't receive. If acknowledgement will not come back to the receiver, he will send again. So these are the packets used inside the. So fixed serial orders in the reliable communication protocol we used. Connection list, we like the I door opener, fiber house respectively. Like these are the example. Eyedropper and firehouse. These are the two best example. Eyedropper mean, for example, we are just putting the eyedropper that there is no use. And firehouse, whenever something will happen, that no need to check three-way handshake coming or not coming. Just go and remove the fire. Okay, they are using the doesn't manage the connection. Doesn't manage the connection mean if there is a fire or firehouse, that no need to call somebody or no need to make a connection, no need to check how fire became and how what happened. You just have to respond. Whatever is the situation, you have to go. अब पहले बैठ के आप उनसे पूछना शुरू कर देंगे, तीली किसने लगाई, माचिस कैसे चली, आग कैसे लगी, कितने फ्लोर तक गई, फिर तो उतनी देर में काम हो जाएगा. So that firehouse is a best example of connectionless. Just someone requested you to come, whatever they are doing, you just have to go. So no need to ask them this what happened, how happened, when happened. That is so that are unreliable. But these are unreliable. For example, that could be fake call. Why it is unreliable? Just you are receiving one call and you are just responding. And you know, usually in happen Europe, 90%, 80% are coming fake calls to the police station and to the fire station. Just childs are making fun. Okay, come to me, we have fire. But when the fire came or police came, there is nothing. So they are saying, sorry, our child just called. So that is why they are calling it unreliable. If someone is just sending you text that come, you are going, but there is no. So sometimes someone can just send a request without any reason, and when you are start sending data and all that, after that you will check that there was fake request or something. Okay, now we understood what is TCP and UDP. But if we have a little comparison between TCP and UDP, so we can say that this TCP is sending the acknowledgement on the each receiving and sending side whenever someone is sending from sender side or whenever someone is sending from receiving side, everything is acknowledged. So that is the perfect connection oriented communication protocol which we are making it. But sometimes it becomes very slow because we are checking every packet and we are sending. So that is why UDP is called a faster than TCP, because we are not doing three-way handshake, not checking error detection and these things. So that is why UDP is a faster. So that is why our voice communication should be very faster. So that is why we are using the, and also it can tolerate some errors, because if something happen in between little bit, one packet will lose from voice or video, there is no issue. So sometimes we can tolerate some error, but inside data we cannot tolerate error. For example, I have sent you one email, inside that email one code was there which was very important, something happened and code is mismanaged. So that should be the case. Even the rest of the email will be no use if that code have some problem. So For example, speed might be more important than few drops of packets over the voice over IP. Voice over IP means voice calls, and UDP simply send the data without checking, and it referred to as a connection-led protocol. So if we compare between these two protocols, one is connection oriented, one is connectionless. One is slower, one is faster. But one is secure, one is not secure. One is reliable, one is not reliable. If in terms of security, you will see security is best in TCP, security is not best in UDP. If you compare between faster and slower, TCP will be slower, UDP will be faster. So you have to decide, you need faster communication, then use UDP. If you need secure communication, then use TCP. If you need data communication, then use TCP. If you need voice and video, you use UDP. So that is the purpose. Okay, the rest of the protocols we will see also a little bit in detail, that hypertext transfer protocol using the TLS. TLS means secure socket layer. So I was saying SSH. SSH basically is a secure version of telnet. So that was the word SSL. SSL means secure socket layer. So which I was telling you SSH. I was just saying wrongly, because that SSH is a secure version of telnet only. That is not used for the securing website. That securing website and securing FTP and securing other protocol, that the word actually is SSL. So I was just confusing with SSH. So this word is SSL, not SSH. SSH is a secure version of telnet. So if you want to secure the HTTP, if you want to secure the what you called FTP or whatever the protocols you want to secure, you need to put secure socket layer, not secure socket, secure shell. So SSL, we are using the process of bringing replaced by the telnet SSTLS protocol, but no one is later. It involves a section of SYN between the requester and sender. So basically, if it will be checking that whenever you are sending the transmission from one layer to another layer, so it will be checking the line is secure or not layer, because if there will be no security SSL, that there will be no problem. If there is a secure shell or there is a security layer on that, it means that there is some algorithm which is securing our transmissions. These messages help to send client and sender, and which one receives socket back and forth messages. If, for example, SSH layer is sending one message to the other side, if they are sending respond back, it means the line is secure. If it is not sending that, there is no line. So that are the functionality of SSH. For example, it is saying that however of these characteristics of insecurity, it is not the security. HTTP data packets are in plain text. So we need to make them very encrypted. Encrypted means we need to put some security algorithm like encryption algorithm, same like OSI model is doing on the presentation layer, sixth layer, which is doing the encryption of the algorithm. So before we were using, other than SSL, we were using TLS. TLS was transmission layer socket, which was wrapper only. So relationship between HTTP and connection oriented secure communication is TLS applied to the security. But nowadays we are not using TLS, we are using SSL. Second protocol is SSH, which is we already discussed. It is a secure version of the telnet. So before we were using TCP port of 22, because we have to use some software to access the devices. Like if I want to configure switch or router, which we are discussing in our CCNA session, then we need to download a PuTTY software. This PuTTY software is helping us to connect with the devices. So if we are using telnet inside that PuTTY, the communication to the device from the system will not secure. Anyone can sniff. But if we are using the port 22, we are using secure version SSH, and the telnet port is which is not secure, which one is 21. So 21 port is not secure, 22 port is secure, which is using the TCP authentication handshake, same like which we have discussed, that if we want to make secure, we need to use handshake. So this secure shell is using TCP protocol and the telnet was using UDP protocol, and we can say that it was not secure because it was using telnet 21 port and it was not secure. Other connection oriented protocols are there, same like dynamic host configuration protocol and TFTP, DHCP and TFTP. What is mean by DHCP? DHCP is a dynamic host configuration protocol that is basically a service or a server which is providing the automatic IP addresses to the computers. For example, we need to give IP address to this system. We don't need to do it manually. So whenever it will boot up, it will send traffic to the server and server will automatically give him one IP address. That is called automatic DHCP or automatic IP configuration process, which will be helping by the DHCP server. DHCP means dynamic host configuration protocol. Dynamically giving IP addresses to the hosts. So that is called functions on UDP. Why it is using UDP? Because we don't need to send packet again and again. We don't need secure communication. So we don't need connection oriented protocol. Just someone is asking IP address, give him IP address. No need to check acknowledgement and all that. So that DHCP function as a UDP. There is no need TCP. But for this one, SSH, we need TCP because it is a secure version. So this one UDP, because that DHCP service no need to secure, because someone is asking IP address, there will be DORA process, like the DHCP has its own process, DORA process. DORA process mean it is a 4-step process. First, user will send as a discover message, then DHCP server will offer, and then the source will request, and then there will be acknowledgement. So there will be 4-step process. For example, मुझे आपसे कोई चीज चाहिए तो फर्स्ट मैं आपसे पहले डिस्कवर करूंगा कि आप हैं भी या नहीं, देने के लिए अवेलेबल भी हैं, फिर आप मुझे उसकी ऑफर करेंगे, ठीक है भाई ये ऑफर है, अगर ये मोबाइल लेना है तो इतने का मैं दूंगा, ऑफर है मेरी तरफ से, ठीक है, मैं कहूंगा ओके, रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि मुझे दे दो थर्ड वन, फिर आप मुझे एक्नॉलेज कर दो जी ओके जी आपको दे दिया। आप सिंपल वर्ड में अगर समझे, जो बोली लगती है, तो बोली में क्या होता है, वो एक सबको ऑफर कर देते हैं कि ये चीज 10 रुपए की है, ठीक है। अब उधर से फिर ऑफरें आती है, एक कहता है मैं 11 दूंगा, एक कहता है मैं 12 दूंगा, एक कहता है मैं 13 दूंगा, एक कहता है मैं 15 दूंगा, वो ऑफर आ गई। फिर हम कहते हैं ठीक है जी ये रिक्वेस्ट आपकी सबसे अच्छी है, आप ले लें, वो फिर एक्नॉलेज कर देगा वापसी पे, ठीक है जी मैंने ले ली इतने में। तो ये बोली वाला सिस्टम इस प्रोसेस को बड़े अच्छे से समझाता है। डिस्कवर विल गो आउटसाइड, someone is there to give me IP, then he will offer the IP address, DHCP. When we will get the IP address, then we will request, okay, give me this IP address. Then there will be acknowledgement that, okay, I have given you this IP address. So this DORA process, no need like TCP. Yeah, there is already one DORA process involved to check things. So there is no need TCP here. If we will be using TCP here, TCP will be having also three-way handshake. So this process will become very late and user is just sitting and waiting for the IP address. So DHCP have his own DORA process. So there is no need to use the TCP. So that is only used the UDP. Same like FTP. FTP is using the downloading and uploading, but here we are using the word trivial file. Trivial file means TFTP. TFTP. So FTP we are using general purpose downloading, uploading, but TFTP we are using only downloading, uploading between the devices. For example, if I want to update the network switch with the latest iOS, we need to use TFTP version. So TFTP is based on the FTP and operates without the authentication and structured flow control and connection protocols. That is also UDP. This one is using UDP, this one is using UDP. So these are the two example protocols which are using the UDP, because if I am just uploading one iOS from my computer to the networking device, switch or router, there is no need to use three-way handshake, because it will be disturbing the uploading, downloading. So if it will be completing, then the router will say that I received. So these are the two protocols which are using the connection less, and these are the two protocols which are using the connection oriented. So I have put 4 protocols here. 2 are using TCP and 2 are using the UDP. Okay, if you have any question, then you can ask. So today basically we have discussed that the understanding of TCP/IP protocol suit in comparison with OSI model, because we have already understood the OSI model. So one thing we have understood here, OSI model was not implemented. This one is implemented. OSI model was lengthy with 7 layers, but TCP/IP is simpler with 4 layers. OSI model, we need to understand the functions, but TCP/IP, we need to understand the protocols. So these are the major differences between these two. One is not implemented just conceptual model, one is implemented not conceptual model, it is actually implemented on the hardware. So there are multiple differences between and multiple layers we need to understand. Then there is a comparison between these two models. And after that, we have understood in detail what is TCP and UDP, connection oriented connection net, and which protocols are using TCP and which protocols are using UDP. We have taken two examples with the TCP. For example, HTTP is using TLS to secure it, and also SSH is a secure version of Telnet. So these two are using TCP protocols, and the other two, DHCP and TFTP, these are two protocols. One is providing automatic IP addresses and one is just downloading, uploading for the networking devices. So both are not using TCP because we don't need to secure these communication.